Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GloryHunter save. We are in Season 6 now and starting life at a fourth new club. Now from the thumbnail, you already know who it is, so I won't build up any sort of suspense. However, I'll give you a roundup for those of you that might be returning to us of what we've done so far very, very briefly. We have spent 2 seasons at Juventus, we've spent 2 seasons at Borussia Dortmund, and 1 season at Manchester City where we were very, very lucky indeed to win the treble in 1 year. Took us 2 years to win the league and cup in Germany. Took us 2 years to win just the league in Italy, so we need to go back to try and win the Coppa Italia. We have won both European trophies and, of course, the World Cup with England. So when we started, the trophy room looked like this. It now looks like that. We have ourselves 8 of the 14 trophies we're trying to get. We are more than halfway there with that Champions League win in... was it the last episode? The last proper episode prior to the vote. The Champions League win saw us head on into the second half of the GloryHunter. We've got 8 trophies in 5 years, meaning we have 10 years left in the save to win the remaining 6 trophies. And we've got Euro 2028 at the end of this season upcoming as well. So we could well tick off another one by the end of the year. Now, because we have so many seasons left, we've decided, rather than bounce from big club to big club to big club to big club to big club, we are going to allow ourselves some extra time in Spain and or France, depending on how long it takes to do the job in our new nation. We're going to go for a rebuild halfway through this GloryHunter save. We've done those 2. We've done those 2. We've done that 1. And we've done those 2. We've got 1 there. Now, we need to go and do these 2. And we're going to try and do those 2 in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen with, of course, the side that won the vote. Malaga is where we are headed next. Your options were Malaga, Montpellier, Bordeaux, Levante, Nantes, Almeria, Tenerife, and Guingamp. And that is how the vote went down. Malaga won with 22.35% of the vote, almost 250 votes more than any other club. They got their winning advantage was more than everybody that voted for Guingamp. So it was a clear choice, and Malaga is where we are destined to continue for the near future. Now, we have gotten them. I say we have gotten them. They got promoted last year from the league below back up to La Liga. So, Malaga are once again a Liga Santander side. However, of course, it's not going to be straightforward to break into those top 3 of Real, Atleti and Barcelona. And initially, it's not going to be that easy to break into the top 6 as well when you factor in sides like Valencia, Villarreal, Athletic Club de Bilbao, etc, etc. So, we are going to have to spend probably 3, maybe 4 years here in Spain. If things happen before that, cracking. Then we can move to France and try and get that done. But things are not going to be easy here at Malaga. The starting 11 looks like that. It's a 4-1-3-2. And it's not great. Not only is it not great, there's really not much else here at the club either. So we have just a 11 and a bench. 2 of the players that were at the club, 2 extra goalkeepers I think it was at Malaga, they left at the end of the last season as we progressed into Season 6. So I am left with the barest possible of bones. An 11 and a bench. 1 goalkeeper, 69 rated. Yikes. I'm wondering whether any of these guys, the CDMs, could potentially be trained to centre-back to potentially flesh us out in that particular area. Because as you see, central midfield and out wide are where we have the most of our players at present. So, in fact, it's all midfield. All we have in spare is midfield. No spare defenders, no spare forwards, and evidently no spare goalkeeper either. With regards to the youth academy, we've inherited a centre mid that might be all right. 62 rated. He's certainly going to be good enough to get involved in the first team action initially. Shevchuk is a centre-back, 6'2", Ukrainian that physically is decent, technically needs a lot of work, but hopefully will progress quite quickly. Might have decent potential. Kovalenko, probably not. And then Harry Reese, I'm just retraining as a winger. Initially, just to have him involved in the squad for numbers. However, we do have a half-decent budget here at Malaga. Last year, they had about 14 million left. This year, there is a little bit more available, a £34 million transfer budget. So definitely enough there to do probably 3 first-team paid-for signings. Now, of course, free agents will come in handy here, and we will, for the first time in this save, potentially have a look at utilising the youth academy in the early stages here at Malaga. But I think free agents is probably going to be the way forward at this stage. So what do the board want from us? Because we want to stay here at Malaga until we've won La Liga and the Cup here in Spain as well. So the objectives, youth development-wise, we can tick that off. That's not a problem. Brand exposure-wise, a streak of 5 clean sheets. Any competition, just 5 clean sheets. Now, initially, with a 69 rated goalkeeper, that's not going to be too easy. So there is certainly a challenge here to this squad. Crucial, first team player assigned to a midfield or forward position. Well, we'll definitely be signing a crucial striker, that's for sure. We have plenty of midfielders already. Have to make, within the same season, sign 2 crucial players and make a profit of £129 million. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, do you? But that's I like to see on the right-hand side there, actually. Signed 0 of 2, profit 0. That, I think, is actually updated. I've never seen anything like that before. So, that must have been patched in. I like that. The more information we get in these objectives, the better, because some of them are a little bit vague. The long-term goal is within 3 seasons, increase the club worth by 30%. Not a problem. That'll easily be done. Domestic success, all we need to do in the league is avoid getting relegated, which hopefully we should be able to do relatively easily. In the Copa del Rey round of 16, that should be possible to be done. And then within 2 seasons, finish mid-table. I would love, within 2 seasons, to be a top half side pushing to maybe qualify for Europe. Obviously, there's no continental expectations at this stage. So I'm not going to go any further forward in this first episode than a few weeks in. We won't play any first team fixtures today because I want your transfer suggestions, please. Obviously, at this stage in a save, a lot of players that you would ordinarily go to at the beginning of a save that are young and cheap are going to have progressed and be very, very good already. So it's a kind of a case of getting those players that start young at the beginning of a save, but have that mid-level of potential. We're not looking for the guys that are going to be 86 to 90 at the end of a save. We're looking for those that are going to be late 70s, early 80s by the end of the save, that are kind of mid-70s now. Those players that cost maybe 5 to 15 million pounds each, rather than 50 to 100 million pounds each. One thing I certainly am open to doing as well is potentially loaning in Cole Palmer from our previous club. He's going to be the first name I add to my transfer hub to potentially try and bring in here at Malaga. I am going to just go straight in because my further transfer plans are going to be dictated by this. His contract is expiring in 12 months' time. He's 81 rated. The only thing is he's on £120,000 a week. And because his contract is expiring, I can't loan him. Well, there goes that idea. And at present, £20 million. I could buy Cole Palmer. I absolutely could buy him. But as a large percentage of my budget, 20 to 25 million pounds. So if there's enough money left at the end of the window, then maybe, or in January perhaps, we might go for Cole Palmer. Or maybe next season we might go for Cole Palmer. At the minute though, my front 6 are pretty decent. My right back and left centre back are pretty decent. But we certainly want depth at centre back. Quality at centre back and at left back and in goal. They are the 3 key areas to improve on first with first team quality players. Centre back, left back and goalkeeper. And then from there, we'll try and flesh out the squad bit by bit. I'm going to have a look and see if Sykes can be changed to a centre back. He is 6 foot tall. I wonder if Rico could be as well. How tall is Rico? 5'7". Not a centre-back. Definitively, absolutely 100% not a centre-back. Munoz can play there apparently, and he's 30 years of age, but he's only 71 rated, so I think I'd like to buy someone that's slightly better than that anyway, rather than change him to a centre-back. So, for now, I might change Sykes to a centre-back, we'll look to buy elsewhere, and I'll call up those young players. So, as it stands, I can't afford, either financially or just squad number-wise, to sell anyone, so it's going to be incomings only this season. Certainly in this window at least. I'm going to start working my way through, and if there's anything to show you, I will bring it to you. But this first episode of this 6th season is primarily about your suggestions in the YouTube comment section to help me improve this Malaga side. Can we A, stay up, B, sign the quality we need, and C, progress to become a side that may well challenge for the Copa del Rey within 2 seasons? I would love that. And then we'll wait and see what happens domestically with regards to the league. Drop the video a like if you're looking forward to this Malaga rebuild style segment of the Glory Hunter. I very much am. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any further content. Right, I'm going to go and get stuck in, and I'll see you a little bit later on in the journey. The shortlist is on its way to being filled. I am scouting a number of other players as well that Twitch chat have recommended, as well as some free agents that are potentially an option as well. So this shortlist will grow before the end of the episode, once we get all the scout reports back. But some of these names might disappear and they might be replaced by new ones that you haven't seen yet. Also, by the next episode, they'll may well be added to as well by options that you give me in the comment section. So please do keep those comments coming in. As we're heading into this bit, do just want to make sure to say thank you to Jack for joining on the Patreon at the VIP tier as well. Very much appreciated, mate. Thank you. We say thank you on stream. We'll say thank you in the YouTube video as well. So I'm not going to go through them one by one. You can see who they are. There are some intriguing free agent options at present. Now, there are also some stupidly high-rated players that are sat in the free agents. And this is a recurring theme, isn't it, in saves like this? Longer term saves like this, where specifically players in odd positions like a centre forward or a right forward, etc., they just don't get signed by the AI teams when they really should do. So the plan is in this window to ignore players like that for now, because it's obviously out of the realms of complete realism whatsoever to go for players like that at this stage. I also will probably not sign anyone. Cole Palmer would probably be the only player that I would sign that would be higher rated than 78, 79, to try and keep on board with the idea of improving the squad in a realistic fashion. I know traditionally on the channel I kind of pick up and let go of realism as and when I choose, as is my prerogative, I guess, but with the squad in that state, I don't think going out and signing 5 80+ rated free agents is really the right way to go about it. We'll do it incrementally and see what we can achieve with the majority of the players that are here already. So what we'll also do is stick with what we used to do in the Barcelona save, where in real life every player has to have a release clause that is registered in Spain as a professional footballer. So we will look to implement that with all of the new signings we bring in and any contracts we renew with players that are already here. We will implement release clauses for those players. What that release clause might be, we'll just decide at the time, and Twitch chat will probably help me narrow down a figure. So if you want to be involved in that side of things, as ever, do come across and join me on Twitch. I live stream the recording of all of my FIFA content on this channel and the My Player on the second channel and the Football Manager and F1 stuff as well that goes up on the second channel. So A, follow me on Twitch, link down below. B, follow me on the Chesnoid Plays, or subscribe to the Chesnoid Plays channel as well. Link for that is down below also, and you'll be able to stay up to date with everything that happens. So I'm going to go and advance a little bit further forward. Now, we haven't actually advanced the calendar at all since you last saw me. We won't go any further than probably the beginning of the next month, so that it allows time to scout anyone that you guys recommend in the YouTube comment section, and I'll update you again once we know what the hell is going on with those names on the shortlist. You join me then a week before the first game. We advanced a little bit longer to get some scout reports back on a couple of players that I was quite keen on. So the transfer hub currently looks like this. Suarez is decent, and I would buy him. However, he is Benfica's only goalkeeper, so unfortunately, it's a no for him. We do have a scout report waiting to come in on Arnau Tenas. However, Sebastian Baran looks like he might be half decent. 20 years of age, 73 rated, 74 diving, 75 handling. But maybe we might want slightly better. But he might be able to come in as a backup goalkeeper, or we could get him, loan him out, and then look to buy or look to get another goalkeeper to come in as the starting whilst he trains, or whilst he grows. So I think I am going to sign Sebastian Baran this episode. Marchetti is a right wing back who would be fantastic on the right-hand side of midfield. So I'm going to try and bring him in and retrain him. He's left-footed as well. And with a one-star weak foot, I think we might have a new left mid on our hands there. Gallo looks similar, right wing back, and I might try and train him as a right mid or right winger because evidently he looks pretty handy. Fresneda, I'm still waiting on a full scout report back from. He might be okay as a fullback, but the team won't sell him. The team don't want to sell him, so I'd have to pay his release clause, which is unlikely at this stage. Joe Mendes, a Swedish right back, looks pretty tasty. 80 stand tackle, good ball control, can be trained with regards to his passing, and physically looks pretty decent already. So Joe Mendes might be a go-to starting right back now, so to speak. Pantea is an option we could potentially buy. His contract is expiring. He could play at left back as well, and he has a 4-star weak foot. So that might be someone we buy for that particular role, and I might bring both of those guys in. When it comes to centre back, Capete, I'm still waiting on a scout report, but it looks like he might be quite expensive. Mosquera, I would be all over him for £9 million, but they don't want to sell him because he's too important to the club. Not entirely too sure why, but gonna have to respect that, and out he or off the list he comes. Now, Dylan Benson as a centre back, physically doesn't blow you away, but with 80 strength and 85 jumping is certainly good enough. 6'1", and technically good in the tackle, or good enough in the tackle, and okay in the short pass. He might be a player that comes in that would go in the starting lineup, but with a view to being replaced in that starting lineup. So I think I might get Benson today as well, but he might not last longer term. And when it comes to the more forward players, Shaw Retire seems like an obvious marquee signing to bring him in to play either right mid or in central areas. I think Shaw Retire is a no-brainer as a sign him now, standout marquee signing, and as higher rated as I'd probably go. Cuellar looks decent as a winger, but I'm not sure yet, so I won't act on that one for now. Matias Ocampo also looks decent as a winger, but I also won't act on that one for now. He's got 77 finishing as well, which would make him pretty decent. Michael Schroeder is a player that was a free agent, looks handy, but I want to keep him on the shortlist to see how he grows. Further up, we have Luciano Ferreira, 75 rated, fast, but not great technically. So feedback on everybody that you've seen on the shortlist so far would be great, actually. Ivandro Borges Sanchez could play left mid or striker. Luxembourgian, 77 finishing, 84 crossing, so would be very good on the left-hand side, but slightly higher rated, and I'm not sure I really want to bring in two 78 rated players. Lorenzo Branco looks like he'd be very good as well. 77 rated, so a little bit lower. Now this guy I'm quite intrigued by. Thibaut Willems, 16, 71 rated, but absolutely would be slightly higher rated, I think, if we change him to either a cam or a striker. Now he's 5'11", low work rates. I think he might be a good player to bring in. Centre forward, cam, centre mid already. And if I change him to a striker, maybe we could make him someone that's pretty decent long term. He'll come in, be an absolutely minimal signing for the fee, and I could either use him or loan him, probably loan, and get him to grow quite well, actually. When it comes to the striking roles, I'm just waiting on a scout report back from Nicholas Bonfanti. He's 5'10", so he's not massively tall, but technically decent and very good in the air, albeit his jumping is only 69, but his heading accuracy is decent. Brian Fiabema, slightly faster, good strength, slightly taller at 6 foot, technically not quite as good though. Chemiti, however, looks like a relative no-brainer for striker unless you feel like his 72 finishing is too low. So at the minute, it's between Bonifin. 72 finish for Bonfanti as well is low, and it's 72 for Fiabema as well. So, I mean, Chimiti's 6'4", so maybe the physical stats of that winning round for you. Let me know. I won't sign a striker yet. I'll wait for your feedback, because we do have two of our highest rated players. In fact, two of our best players are our forwards too. So I'd be looking more for squad depth there than I would be necessarily for a starting player. So I'm going to go out and I am going to sign now Baran, Marchetti, try and buy Pantea, I think, sign Mendes as well on a free, and then get Shoretire in, and the rest, and the young 16-year-old Willems as well, and the rest is up to you guys. Now, I'll have a quick little montage here of showing you the exact finances of each of those deals, but I'm going to go and get those done now. Right, release clause. Now, I've no idea what to set a release clause for a 73 rated goalkeeper, so I will just set this at 15 million and future-proof ourselves a little bit. Maybe I set it at 20, and that will future-proof us a little bit with him. Release clause of 9 million. Okay, well, in my experience, they tend to not want to negotiate too much with release clauses at all, and evidently they don't want to negotiate here. I'll try and get it slightly higher if I can, but no, they're very bullish with that. So 9.1 million is what we will have to do, and we'll try and negotiate that later down the line. It recommends a wage of 9, but generally, free agents do tend to be open to signing wages that are a little bit smaller than the recommended. And 5.5, which is nearly half what they said was the recommended, and he joins. Sebastian Baran is in. That's the financials of that. We have, for now, a better starting goalkeeper, but we are open to more goalkeepers potentially coming in the future. So release clause of 6.2. No, because I'm gonna change his position, and his overall is going to skyrocket. But so I'm gonna have to accept that for now. That is absolutely something I will look to change in the future. And whoa. Almost offered him 600 grand a week then. I'll offer him £6,000 a week, and hopefully they'll be happy with that. They are. Small signing bonus done. Marchetti is in, and now before I forget, I'm going to go and start retraining him immediately as a midfielder. I think I'm quite happy right off the bat to just accept that. Release clause of 13.7. I'm finding that there is absolutely no negotiating with regards to release clauses whatsoever with the agents. So I'm having to. I want to put release clauses in, but I'm having to only go with the one that the game gives me because I can't negotiate it any further, unfortunately. But Joe Mendes comes in. He will be our new starting right back, and now the aim is to go and sign Pantea. I could get him for about 6.5 million, it reckons, and he would come in as my left back. He's got a 4-star weak foot, so that's absolutely perfect. He's got 2 traits as well. What are they? Dives into tackles and early crosser. Okay, would approach to buy. This would be our first paid signing of this period at Malaga. I'll offer 5, and they want 8.1. Still not a bad price for someone that's 23, but I'll try and get him for as close to valuation as I can. 6.5, they've come right down. Quite happy to do that right off the bat. Perfection. Pantea, what are you on a week currently? £11,000. We just signed someone else who's 75 rated for, was it £13,000 a week, I think he paid? I can't recall off the top of my head now. We've just done Mendes, the Swedish right back. We'll propose a release clause, and this will show you what I mean. Like for a 75 rated player with potential, I'll offer 25 million release clause. They say 18.2, and I'll go full negotiation pants. I go, okay, how about 20 then? And they're like, oh, lol. Well, as soon as I try and make a point about them not accepting anything else other than what I've offered, that's the first time in 5 negotiations that they'll actually agree anything other than what they've initially said. I'll offer him 9 grand a week, and he might sign for that. He will with a small bonus. That's fine. Okay, well, our first paid signing then is in. You only get this cutscene for paid signings, it seems, as well. This is the first time we've had this cutscene with any of the players we brought in at Malaga. Otherwise, it just says free agent to Malaga, and you don't get that cutscene at all. So free agents don't garner enough respect to get a cutscene, it seems. So I wasn't going to sign anyone else other than Shoretire, and Willems. So let's get those two done now. Shoretire is probably going to be pretty expensive wage-wise, but I feel like we can justify that for our marquee signing. This is going to be the biggest sale of, or biggest signing of the season so far. I know I said I was going to do a bit of a montage, but what do you know? Ches is waffling again. Now, release clause. I'm going to want this to be quite high for Shoretire. I'll ask for 35, and they will accept 35. Okay, that makes sense. I think 35 is about there or thereabouts. Let's offer him 20 grand a week, and he should accept that. And he has done. Shoretire is in. And it is pronounced Shoretire as well, not Shoretire. Apologies to those that are probably already having a go at me in the comment section. You pronounced his name wrong. It says Shoretire. Shoretire. So, Thibaut Willems then will be the last one we get in for barely any money whatsoever. He'll probably go out on loan, and we'll try and get some first-team football for him elsewhere. I also have a couple of intriguing youth squad players that we could call up and send out on loan as well. Rotation is fine. I could have tried to get him to sign sporadic, but I don't think he would have accepted it. A release clause of 10, 5.9. Now, are they going to negotiate from here? Will you negotiate at all? No, 5.8. So maybe it's free agents then, where they aren't willing to negotiate at all. Yeah, so free agents, they won't negotiate release clauses at all, but signing a player from another club, they are open to a little bit of negotiation. Fair enough. This is a story of discovery, and it's a story of discovery we will be very keen to learn from for the save that follows the GloryHunter with regards to the Youth Academy Road to Glory, because we'll be signing players from our own Youth Academy and other clubs' Youth Academies as well. There you go then. That's all of the free signings I'm going to make, all of the signings I'm going to make, all told for now, and I will wait for your feedback moving forward. So, the new players are in. Let's show you, actually, quickly, the youth players that are in question. So I retrained Reese from a striker to a left wing, and he's gone from 54 to 61. So he can come up and go out on loan. Ahmed has come in from our youth scout report in Morocco, and he is... No, I didn't scout Morocco. I didn't scout Morocco, so he must have already been here. I don't recall him actually being here when I joined. Brahim Ahmed, Moroccan 62 rated centre mid, and could grow. So we'll call him up and let him go out on loan as well. Outside of that, we've got some young players that might grow, but unlikely at this stage. So that's where we are right now. We've done both of the youth development targets. We've also signed one crucial player to a midfield position, as midfield or forward position as well. So we're very, very happy. Well, I'm very happy at least with how things are going so far. So let me just sort my starting lineup out, and then we can give you one final overview as to how we're going to line up, and then you can see exactly where I still need to strengthen. So into the starting lineup comes Pantea on the left and Mendes on the right. Olmo has dropped to the bench, but almost certainly a player that could be utilised at left back as well. So I'm fine at left back now. I may still need another right back. I'm not sure yet. Jimenez can play at left back too, so I'm probably fine for fullbacks then. Although his defending isn't great, Jimenez, and he's 31. So perhaps we let Jimenez go and sign another right back. I'll wait for your feedback on that. Baran is into the starting lineup in goal. And obviously, I'm still probably going to look for another goalkeeper to send Baran out on loan. Perhaps a goalkeeper that's 76 or 77 rated-ish. Because I'm not sure how good Baran would be longer term, or shorter in the short term, but long term, certainly we expect him to grow. Shoretire is in on the right. That makes obvious sense. And Willems is into the bench here at centre forward. Lorenzo is 76 rated. And he and Enriquez will rotate in that centre mid spot. Gennaro at CDM. I'm probably going to look to sign another CDM as well, actually, for this particular formation. I'm going to try, as ever, to perform with the default formation that a team plays. And if that doesn't work, we'll switch to like a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 of some description. So, at the minute, I'm looking for another striker. Your feedback, please, because Willems will send out on loan. Probably another... Well, to be fair, Marchetti's going to be moved to winger. So... maybe another winger. although Marchetti and Fomba could be good enough. Fomba is only 26, so could be decent. Probably another centre mid as well. So centre mid, striker, 2 centre backs, and a goalkeeper, I think, is probably where we are now. Centre mid, striker, and 2 centre backs. And then I think I'd be happy with where the squad is for the first half of this season. With regards to our finances, we still have 17 million left in the budget. So I can buy a couple of players, but it would only be a couple. And we shall wait and see what your feedback is moving forward. So in tomorrow's episode, we will finish the transfer window. We will play Cadiz, Tenerife, and Almeria. Tenerife and Almeria, intriguingly, were both on the vote as well. So quite nice to play both of those to hopefully show that we've made the right decision. And then we will push forward into the next month and finish, or continue this season. We'll finish the time with England. We should be fine in the Euro 2028 qualifiers. But we might just make sure by playing the Czech Republic, or sitting it and then jumping in if we need to. Atleti, Valencia, Getafe and Espanyol from there. And of course the Copa del Rey won't start until a little bit later on in the season. So we'll just play it by ear from there. But you know what I want in the transfer window? So, help me. Tell me who to get, and I shall do your bidding. That is all for this first episode of the first episode of the 6th season in Glory Hunter. Thank you very much for your support. Hopefully I can get this video out for 3, if not for 4. And fingers crossed, we'll be able to record the first episode, or the second episode, tomorrow morning as you see this, and as I'm recording it as well, actually. So Wednesday morning, Wednesday lunchtime, I'll look to record episode 2. Episode 2 might be out to you a little bit later. It also might be slightly delayed until Thursday. I do have some other plans on Wednesday morning, so if it's going to be too late, I'll push it to Thursday. But hopefully I'll be able to get it out to you on Wednesday between 3 and 5. Its usual slot, of course, is 3 p.m. Right. Thank you very much for watching. I'm looking forward to this. Time to rebuild Malaga. I'll see you tomorrow.